Watch the Game podcast. L.A. Cheatham.
Benjamin Banneker, we back for season 2. Season 2, we are back. We are here. Let's get busy.
Look here, man. Got a lot to cover.
Mm-hmm.
We had a few things set us back, but now we back at it. But let's recap before we even talk about exhibition football.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have some fun today.
All right.
Let's recap. Let's draft night. We haven't hit them since the draft.
Yeah.
We had our expectations going into the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Bears went into the draft with the number 20 pick.
Right.
Pick number 20, if I'm not mistaken.
And we didn't have really high hopes.
Not really high hopes because we knew we needed a quarterback.
Right.
And I think we both were willing to settle Kyle Trask.
And it feels foolish of us to have that thought process going into it, but
I believe that was a realistic thought process, though.
Yeah.
When you think about it, number 20 pick in the draft, and with the job security of Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace, we didn't know how big of a jump they were willing to make, or how much support they had from the front office to go out and make a move to go and get a guy they really wanted.
Right.
So me and you, like I say, we kind of settled on Kyle Trask, and I think I would have been happy if they picked Kyle Trask that night.
I'm elated now. But I would have been good with that, yeah.
But let me tell you the story. Draft night, I took a nap. The draft process is kind of long. So I'm thinking, Bears got picked number 20. This going to take a while.
Right.
Go to sleep. Matter of fact, I had, a couple slices of pizza. I think that had something to do with it.
You had some brown going too.
Some brown in the cup. Went to sleep. Hopefully I'll wake up before the Bears make their draft pick.
You ain't set no alarm or nothing.
Nothing. I just fell asleep. I didn't intend on it. But it's a long process. But when I went to sleep, I was a Bears fan. As I woke up, they were making their announcement. I hadn't been asleep that long. Maybe 10 or 20 minutes. Maybe a half hour, maybe.
So how we got away to pick 20? That's what you're thinking, right?
And with the pick, my Bears select Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't hit me for a while until they actually interviewed Justin, and then I found out they actually had moved up. But I felt elated. I think that's the word you used.
Elated, yeah.
I think can I steal that one?
Oh yeah, you can go ahead.
Now, what was your experience on draft?
See, I was actually in traffic. I was heading to an interview. Got the rap thing going on, so we'll talk about that later. So I'm heading to an interview. I'm on 9094, and I'm in jam, bumper to bumper traffic, not going nowhere. Right across from Comiskey Park, U.S. Cellular Field. That ain't what it's called. Guaranteed rate.
Guaranteed rate.
Right, that's what it's called.
It's been changed 3 times.
Yeah.
It's the third name.
So I gave them all to you. So I'm sitting there and I got Hulu on the phone. It's up on my dashboard. I see the Bears trade up. So as they trade up, on the board at this time is still Mac Jones. So I'm thinking, here they go again. They about to pass on this dude that we need and go get the stereotypical quarterback. And when I say that, they're gonna go get the white quarterback. That's what I meant by it.
Okay.
So we gonna call it play. So I even tweeted, I'm like, watch the Bears go ahead and pick Mac Jones. And here comes the Bears select Justin Fields. It was almost like disbelief. Like, am I dreaming right now? Like, I don't know if I'm really seeing and hearing what I really think I'm seeing and hearing. And, it's really Justin Fields. So immediately, I cut on ESPN 1000. Like, I want to see how the city reacted. They was broadcasting the White Sox game, so I was a little pissed off about that. So then I text you and I'm like, yo, what's up? Like, we got Justin Fields, and I'm sure we went back and forth for about the next hour. I went to Lawrence's, I got me some shrimp. I didn't even do the interview. I stopped. I turned around, went home, got some shrimp. And my girl at the time, she was like, yo, why you in such a good mood? I'm like, you just don't know.
It was a buzz.
Yeah, it was different.
Like the next morning, it was a buzz.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember feeling this way. It's been a while. I remember feeling this way when the Chicago Bulls picked up Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
But, like I say, early that week, I think it was on a Monday, I heard they were trying to move up to get Justin Fields. A lot of people had put a lot of salt on Justin Fields. And then we heard about so a lot of people was tearing him down and putting a lot of bad press on him. You know, his stock was falling. We knew this, but I still didn't think the Bears would end up with him, especially at pick number 20. Anyway, they moved up to get him. They traded with the Giants. Now, they traded with the Giants to move up to number 11 to get him. And based on what we've seen or what we've been hearing, most definitely what we've seen in the first preseason game, if this continues to happen, the Giants might be looking back on like what the hell did we do?
Like how we was looking on Deshaun and Patrick Mahomes.
For sure. But it's good to have the shoe beat on the other foot. Let's just hope the kid is successful. But let's just touch on your personal experience. I think you got a different experience when it comes to Justin Fields. Now, everybody know you're a big Bears fan. We all Bears fans. But on Saturday, you go in blue.
Michigan Wolverines all day.
So how do you feel about Justin before draft night?
So going into the draft, obviously I couldn't deny that the kid was not good just because he played for my arch nemesis, right? Because he played for Ohio State. You would never catch me saying like he's trash. Never said that. I knew he was good. I thought he was better than Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence is a little overhyped, a little overrated. I thought Justin Fields was the guy. So, I seen him play, obviously, versus Michigan. Any big game Ohio State played in, I was watching, hoping that the other team would knock Ohio State off to make our road a little bit easier to the Big Ten Championship. Didn't quite happen, but I knew he was legit. College football playoff, I seen how he played against Clemson. I seen how he played, he played Clemson twice. So I seen how he performed. I'm like,
always put his team in position to be in the national championship hunt.
Yeah.
The 2 seasons he was there.
Yeah.
This is why, for the longest, it was him and Trevor Lawrence being number 1 and 2. So the reason why he was falling,
I don't
when
understand.
When he came closer to the draft, it just seemed like it just played right into the Bears' favor. Because there's nowhere in the hell I thought the Bears would have been able to move up in the top 5. But they were able to pull it off with the Giants and get up to number 11. And Justin might be about to save a few jobs around here.
I hope so. I mean, just him being here, it just, like you said, there's a buzz. There's a buzz in the city. Like, just to watch
the next morning, the day after the draft. I mean, it's like the city, like I felt like they had won a game.
Exactly.
The next morning, it was like a
big
Monday
game.
morning game that they had won yesterday. They won a big game last night. That's the kind of that's how I felt that night. That morning, like they had won a game the night before, and people were just excited, looking forward to the next few picks. But no matter what, he was the splash at the draft with the Bears. We'll get off into the rest of the picks and stuff like that. When the roster, I think, is set out, because everybody else got to pretty much earn their keep. I mean, I like Khalil Herbert. He played particularly well in the exhibition game. Yeah. But with that being in mind, unless you want to touch on Justin Fields, your personal experience again, let's talk about the exhibition game a little bit.
Okay, so was it just me, or was it just juice? Just around the city in the stadium, watching it on TV, was it juice that you experienced yesterday from watching a preseason football game?
Well, let me touch on that, because I know you were kind of occupied. I don't think you was able to
I didn't see it live. Yeah, I didn't see it live.
And I fell asleep on the first. I worked the night before, so I do a lot of sleeping, as you can see. I slept through half of the draft, through most of the draft, and I slept through the first 20 minutes of the first exhibition football game that I had been looking so forward to seeing. Some way, somehow, I worked the night before and then I'm falling asleep. But man, the buzz, I've been a Bear fan all my life. I don't think I ever witnessed the buzz about a preseason exhibition football game as long as I've been a Bear fan, I don't think I ever seen it, and I think that game it lived up to every bit of the billing. We can get off into the particulars of the game in a minute, but the buzz, and then we just looking forward to the next.
Hey, man, and the buzz, like I don't know, we was talking off camera, it translated to the players on the field, because you made a comment, you said it looked like guys was like, now let me make a play.
Everybody wanted to make a play. In my opinion, okay, we saw Andy Dalton go out there. In all fairness, Andy Dalton has been more quarterback in his career. You take away the Super Bowl win from Nick Foles, but Andy Dalton was more of a quarterback, a better quarterback from the aspect of when you compare him to Mitch Trubisky and Nick Foles.
Mm-hmm.
Outside the Super Bowl MVP, that's a big ring on his finger. But it's like, okay, he went out, he had his 2 series, and it was just blah.
Yeah, it was blah. Like we was waiting for.
It's like the show hadn't started yet.
Yeah.
Everybody was just waiting on the show to start, and it's like Justin comes out and buzz. It's gonna be hard.
That I was just about to ask you that. Now, if we felt like that, I know the fans in the stadium felt like that. I know the coaches feel like that. So how long?
Hey,
how long can we?
Your eyes did not trick you.
Yeah.
Millions of people seen this. You're not talking about the city of Chicago,
mm-hmm.
the Bears, the Chicago Bears fan base. We're talking about football fans. NFL football fans saw this.
Yeah.
We talked about this before the preseason exhibition season kicked off. The Bears have one of the most interesting exhibition seasons this season. There's so much under the microscope.
Yeah.
With the Justin Fields getting drafted at number 11, and they brought in Andy Dalton, but the fans it's like they're like, okay, and it really wasn't fair to Andy Dalton, but they just really want to see Justin Fields. Like we touched on, it's gonna be hard if he plays this well, continue to play this well,
to keep him off the field.
and then you don't want to leave him out there too long because you don't want to get too much tape on him because you don't want to show everything.
Right.
So it's gonna be hard for Matt Nagy to say we're gonna sit this kid, especially if Andy Dalton don't go out immediately against the Buffalo Bills and show his worth. Because everybody know he don't have he's not elusive. He's not what Justin Fields is.
No.
But his arm and his vision, all of his experiences got to come together in these next couple preseason
to hold him off. Yeah.
To hold off Justin Fields because he got a herd coming with him. I mean,
dude,
right now I want to put him on Derrick Rose status. If you remember how Derrick Rose, how hot he was in the city when he was winning with the Bulls, kid from the city, I think Justin kind of got that right now, and he ain't won a game yet.
Yeah.
I think he got that buzz right now. It's gonna be hard for the coaches to keep him off.
Just think about, and I know we just taking this off the field. Just think about the reaction. How we just talked about how it felt when we drafted Justin Fields versus how we felt when they signed Andy Dalton. Matter of fact, I listened to the radio and they broke in. They said the Chicago Bears decided to set $10 million on fire and sign Andy Dalton next year. So that's the 2 parallels of how we looking at him.
But I like to calm that down a little bit because you got to think about it. The free agency period is before the draft.
Right.
So what I mean by I want to put things in perspective, okay? You going out, remember the buzz was everybody was thinking, oh, we're going to make a trade and go get Russell Wilson.
Yeah. And Deshaun was available again too because he wanted to be traded.
Because at that time, so you like, everybody's expecting Russell Wilson, then you get Andy Dalton. So now it's like, you get us hyped up, which, by the way, I didn't want Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I know. You was on record.
For reasons I will not discuss,
yeah.
I didn't really want Russell Wilson. But when you look at the player and you be like, the expectations, okay, we're going to go get Russell. Then you say, no, we can't get that because they don't want to make the deal. So we're going to go get Andy Dalton. At that point, they were just going to go get a guy to say, look, we got to go get somebody to fill the position.
Mm-hmm.
not knowing that
Justin was gonna fall.
they're gonna actually be able to trade up and get Justin Fields, a guy they were really high on.
Right.
And I think the Bears did everything within their power not to show their hand on their interest in Justin
They
Fields.
actually
I think
did
they did a great job with that.
Yes, they did.
So Andy Dalton, for the situation he was put in at the time they signed him, it wasn't what people wanted. It wasn't even what people expected. But when you look back on it, he's been put in a tough position, but he's a big boy. He's been an all-pro quarterback. If it was ever a time he's gonna prove his worth, it's now. So if he's gonna outplay, if he's gonna show he's the starter of the Chicago Bears, I'm with it. But I know damn well we got a young boy it's gonna be hard to hold him off.
Man, well, Andy Dalton got 3 Pro Bowls, I think 5 playoff appearances, which is cool.
He don't have a playoff win.
Nope, I said appearances.
Yeah.
Not win, which is cool. But I don't know. Maybe it's just the buzz getting to me. Maybe I've been drinking the Kool-Aid. But I feel as though if we start Justin game 1, I feel like we'll end up with more wins than going with Andy and then transitioning to. Because the kid, he just come off as a winner to me.
In every asset, I watched his press conference. Every time I watched it, leading all the way up from OTAs up to training camp, all the way up to the first exhibition game, I watched a lot of his press conferences. And I didn't have to watch many to realize that the guy was getting it because, see, he was ready. He's been prepared for the moment. From the way he speaks, and his knowledge of the game, the way he handles himself, his character, sound like a really good kid. Then you listen to how the Chicago media was responding to him once they went to training camp. Most of the time, the coaches, they go out there and tell you what you want to hear in the press conference. They leave a lot of stuff out. So me personally, I listen to the city buzz of the city, the media coverage, the beat writers and stuff like that. I listen to those guys because those guys, they don't have nothing to lose. They're going to tell you the truth.
Right.
But I heard all good things about Justin Fields and how he was coming along through OTAs. And then, it's just practice. We heard this before.
He looks great. In 7-on-7.
Yeah, the training camp going. You hear the same stuff. You hear all the big rave reviews. Oh man, just out of sight. You'd be like, I would like to be there to see this stuff, but I'm going to Lake Forest. That's not in my. Right. I'm not able to do it right now.
Right.
But so now, come to exhibition, you like, okay.
Let me see something.
I'm gonna sneak 20 minutes in. I'm gonna miss out on all Andy Dalton stuff, and then when Justin fit, just like draft night. When Justin hit the field, I was wide awake, and up until the end of the first half, about 45 seconds into the first half, everything was looking like blah again. Like, okay, we waiting on it. We've been hearing all this big time stuff. Okay, he dropped the pass. Oh, Justin fumbled the football.
But even with that fumble, he didn't look blocked. He looked real smooth and poised. Even though his first 2 drives, they didn't get a first down. He still looked like, oh, this ain't too big for this kid. It's not too big of a moment. And I said off camera, I was like, he reminded me a lot of Russell Wilson. How he'd get out the pocket. It was timely. He could find somebody. I think he had a better arm than Russell. But it just made me feel good. Like, yeah.
Here's the thing. Whenever I watch football and I watch young quarterbacks, the eyes always tell you the story.
Mm-hmm.
So when we look at Mitchell Trubisky's the guy we kind of got to watch Mitch for 3 or 4 years. Every time Mitch stepped up behind the center, it looked like he was always
jittery.
He had a buzz in his eye, like
deer in headlights.
Deer in headlights. Like, but with Justin, it was just like his mouth is moving, his eyes are steady, he's pointing out direction, he's giving out direction. First preseason, first exhibition game, he's behind center. He just looks calm under pressure. The eyes was telling me a good story. Like, he was in control. He made a few mistakes. He went out. He actually fumbled the football. Then, when you watch the press conference, he told a good story. He said, look, I told the guys that we got to quit making the mistakes. as we watched the post-game press conference, he elaborated that he told the guys, hey guys, you're making mistakes. We got to keep ourselves out of third and long and keep ourselves in manageable situations. And we be able to get something done here. But he alluded to the fact that when he fumbled that football, he said in the press conference, very sarcastically, well, I guess we're going to be retiring the spin move. Just cool, still displaying good, cool, calm, and under pressure, even in the press conference. He had an answer. He had a lot of humor. But the dude went back there, man, and just got it going. That last drive to lead him to a field goal, you only had 45 seconds left on the clock. They went into, I guess, a 2-minute offense. He put him in field goal position. Then last year's MVP stepped up.
Make sure you say last year's MVP.
Last year's MVP.
Yeah.
Cairo Santos went out and hit a 53-yard field goal.
Right, straight down the pipe.
And that was when the party started. First of all, Justin got him in position. Very Mitch Trubisky-like.
He does that.
You got to admit, Trubisky was good for getting you in field goal range.
Oh yeah, he did that versus the Eagles. Remember?
Just got to make the kick.
Yeah.
So he showed us everything we had seen in Mr. Trubisky.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna manage the game down. We're gonna get a 53-yard field goal from the MVP, from last year's MVP, Cairo Santos. And he said he knew they was getting the ball coming out in the second half. He said, guys, all we got to do is keep ourselves out of the bad situations, and we can make some things happen. And then it happened. The party started.
Oh yeah.
The party started.
Yeah.
Big plays to Rodney Adams, through a big touchdown pass to the back shoulder to Rodney Adams. Was probably one of the big plays that really got started with the arm, because everybody just wanted to see this big arm. You know, we want to see the guy make a play with his arm.
Yeah.
So that he made that play. Rodney Adams made a great catch, by the way, and Justin get him down in the red zone, and I think he took what was a broken play and scored a touchdown.
The one where he scrambled.
Yeah, he scrambled because he was directing traffic. Even as he was doing this, he was telling, I think it was Riley Ridley, go over there. And all the time he knew he could get in his zone. He made that play. Mm-hmm. Then the play of all plays. I mean, Matt Nagy, somebody called a hell of a play.
On the Jesse James touchdown?
And I got to think that was one of the regular season plays that they was like, you know what, guys? The fans want to see something. Let's give them something to see. They ran the play. Mm-hmm. And he scored this dude was wide open.
Wide open. He backpedaled in the end zone.
And now that, when you think about it, everybody was like, Mitch would have overthrew him. Okay, I don't know if that's true. But
I don't think he'd overthrew that one.
I think people
it might have been a duck.
We happy to have Justin. I'm extremely happy to have Justin. But I don't think Mitch was that bad. I mean, I really don't.
Like I said, he would have completed. It might have been a duck.
Yeah, it might have been. He might have had to run back, catch the ball, whatever. But he would have completed that pass. But great job, Matt Nagy called the play. Someone called the play to get the crowd involved, to display Justin's ability to run the offense and make a big play. Yeah. That was just a great play, and it just to cap off what was a great performance for Justin Fields. And that wasn't the end of the party. Because like you said, it just seemed like the buzz was in the air. Everybody wanted to make a play. Now, we might be overlooking a few things because remember the first half.
Good. He made some plays.
I'm talking about all around because we haven't mentioned the first half that Houston Carson had a pick
in his zone. Yeah.
And I think that was probably one of the biggest plays up until the time Justin hit the field.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when Justin hit the field, and he started making a couple plays, it's like everybody was just looking to make a play. Khalil Herbert got out there and he got on his horse and he made some big plays. I like the running backs, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, we talked about that off camera too. The running back room, how we feel about it this year.
No Cordero Patterson.
That's number one.
Okay, no Cordero Patterson.
He's gone. We got what's our man, Damian Williams. Who should have been Super Bowl MVP
2 years ago. Should have been Super Bowl MVP.
I gotta get used to number 8.
Gotta get used to the single digit numbers.
I gotta get used to that. David Montgomery really run me over towards the end of last year. Because going into last year, it was just all
about opportunities with David Montgomery.
Put
him in position.
I like it. I like Herbert and even your boy.
Hey, Artavis Pierce had a big run.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, are they gonna go to the season with 5 running backs on the roster? We don't know.
Well, this is the thing. The running back room is good. But we didn't touch on Ryan Nall's run now.
That's what I'm talking about.
Ryan Nall was busting, man. He made a couple big plays. He ran hard. And this is why a lot of people familiar with our podcast, he really talks about Ryan Nall. The reason why is because Ryan Nall always does something big in the preseason.
Yeah.
In the exhibition season. So he didn't get that chance last year. Everything we did last year, it counted. Yeah. So he didn't get many opportunities. My whole thing with Ryan Nall was I just wanted to see him get an opportunity to play. And here it is, exhibition. He did what Ryan Nall do. He made a big play in the exhibition season because that's when he get his opportunity. And you're sticking the kid out there through for special teams. He's third, fourth year in the league, and you being labeled as a running back. I just want to see him play running back.
Yeah.
And I just think he should be put in position. I'm gonna go into my Madden. I would let Ryan Nall play some snaps at fullback.
Okay.
Because he runs that hard. He's a big, strong guy.
Short yardage situation.
And he got decent hands.
Yeah.
So even if he made the roster, that's how I would use him. But I think it's going to be hard for him to make this roster. But he's Ryan Nall. He might find a way to make this roster. He might find a way to make this roster.
We definitely can't put him over them first three we named.
No, we got not. Because you got to think about Tariq Cohen. He
ain't playing. Ain't even playing. Yeah, I forgot about Tariq.
You got. I don't want to mess the kid's name up. Number 37 was another guy at that hound. They say he's a good pass catcher, running back out the backfield. So with Tariq Cohen being out, I think if Tariq don't show early in this preseason, or when you get down to the stretch of preseason, I think they might put him on injury reserve, and that might save somebody a roster spot going into the season, or maybe even a practice squad spot, because I don't think they want to rush Tariq.
Yeah.
I think they got enough. I think they went out and got a few playmakers, and I think we're going to see some guys coming up next week get a little bit more playing time, and we'll be able to see a little bit more depth in that wide receiver group, which brings me.
I like them. I like what I saw from them.
Matt Nagy's been talking about there's a lot more speed out there, and I think that's what he like. When you can take your wide receivers and then your running backs, interchange guys, and you can do some of the things I think he want to do.
He want to be the Kansas City Chiefs. That's what he want to be.
I think that's been his downfall, but I still think that even though we got Justin Fields, even more so if we got Andy Dalton on the field, he has to commit to the running game. And with David Montgomery, he can make just as many plays as anybody else on their roster. And I like Damian Williams. I like Khalil Herbert. I like those guys. I really do. And I'm a stickler for running the football. It just makes other things. I just like the way it balances things out. It shows toughness. I think it's simple for the offensive line. I just really like to see a team that can run the football.
Right.
And
I'm the other way. I want to sling it all over the yard, but I understand.
That's the new age.
But you got to have a running game. Look at Tom Brady. Look at the Buccaneers.
Yeah, but even Tom Brady understands that when my big boys up front getting it done, and I got this guy in the backfield, I ain't got to throw. Yeah. I just want to get the win.
Yeah.
And I think if Matt Nagy would buy into their concept, play to the matchups, and then when they shut the matchups down, then make the adjustments. So you may have some days where you may throw for 400 yards, but you may have some days where you might be able to get the running back might be able to run them up.
Yeah.
If the scouting reports say they're bad against the run, then run the damn ball.
Right. You don't have to impose your way. Yeah.
Don't get out here and get cute.
And this preseason too, we only seen one game. Play calling was better yesterday, but it ain't the full playbook. We know that. But I like I like what I saw from defense yesterday. I like what I saw from special teams. Had a few penalties. Offensive line had a few penalties that had Justin backed up. It was third and plus 11, 12 yards in his first two drives.
And Justin made sure that they got that under control.
Oh, yeah.
Showing leadership, showing character.
Yeah.
Showing that he might be QB1.
Hey, if he's QB1 on week 1,
it's going to be hard for him to keep that guy off the field.
Yeah.
Now, you talk about the defense, and I don't want to overlook that they did play well, But I want to give Tua some credit because Tua made some tough quicks. He made some tough throws yesterday and some tight windows. He threw a pick. And I even appreciated the effort of Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
I think he played pretty good. And at one point, I found myself thinking to myself, would I rather have Jacoby Brissett as my backup, or would I rather have Andy Dalton as my backup?
You know what? If we building towards the future, right? We got the young kid.
I'm just talking about the backup right now.
That's what I'm saying.
I think with Justin Fields is what it is. I'm talking about just this season alone. If Justin Fields, now we're gonna talk about the backup position.
Right.
Would you rather, if let's say Justin Fields is
It's just
Justin Fields that we saw? I'm like, well, damn. Why didn't we go good Jacoby Brissett? I think I would have rather had him over Andy Dalton, but I mean, he just had more work. He got more work done. He had more opportunity yesterday. I like what I seen from Jacoby Brissett. The Miami Dolphins are an up-and-coming team in the AFC.
They won 10 games last year. 10 or 9 games last year.
And I'm not really sure on recapping how they did last year, but I know they're an up-and-coming team in the division. When you talk about with New England, kind of rebuilding or whatever you want to call it, Miami's a good football team. Yeah. They came in here, and I think for the most part, they look good. They just didn't get in the end zone. But I mean, it's exhibition season. They just wanted, the number thing is not to get guys hurt. And I think they look good. I expect things from them when the season started. I like the way Tua look. I like their running game. They look pretty good.
It's only one really bad team really in that division, and that's the Jets.
Yeah, you're right.
Buffalo won the division last year. New England they lost Brady, but they still won, I think, 7 games last year.
Yeah, and you cannot count Bill Belichick out. The organization, they didn't improve. They didn't even when Tom Brady was hurt back years ago. Remember one year they went 11-5. They didn't make the playoffs.
That was Matt Castle, and he got a big payday.
And so like I said, I think Dolphins, they're gonna be a good football team. But back to the Chicago Bears, Sean designed their defense. A lot of the players are saying that he's more like a Vic Fangio.
Right. Vic was 2 years ago?
Yeah, and they're expecting to get more turnovers and more takeaways. So yesterday they had 2 takeaways. They had an interception by Houston Carson, and then they had a recovered a fumble. So when you look at everything that they talked about building up through training camp to the first exhibition,
we saw it.
Played itself to the light. The defense got 2 turnovers. Justin Fields performed well, and then it's just so much. Ogletree, a late pickup at linebacker.
Yeah,
he played well down on the goal line.
He made
a big stop on the first team defense. So it's just a lot to look forward to. That's why I told you this exhibition season is going to be this next game for sure. Because Mitch Trubisky's coming.
Right, and we need to see that.
Another good defense. Mitch Trubisky's coming to town. Going to get an opportunity to play in front of the Chicago crowd. By the way, just great to see people back in the stands.
It's different. It's just different.
In all of the at all of the stadiums around the league, but just Soldier Field in particular, it was just so good to see Chicago out and repping for the Bears. But Mitchell's coming to town. You asked me before we jumped on, do I think they're gonna boo Mitch? And I really hope not.
I think it's gonna be 50-50.
Yeah, I really hope not because Mitchell Trubisky had a press conference. I don't know if you saw it.
I seen it, and he kind of took his shots.
Yeah. And my thing is, when you were put in the position Mitchell was put in, he had a reason to be unhappy, but not with the fan base,
with the coach,
with the coach and the coaching staff, because me and you both felt like he shouldn't have been pulled against Atlanta.
Yeah.
And they were winning, and they were just looking for him to make a mistake, and they took advantage of it. I really just don't think. I'm very critical of Matt Nagy. I really just don't think he wanted to coach.
And Nagy didn't draft him, right? He was drafted.
No. He came the year after.
Yeah.
He was
drafted.
He wasn't
this guy.
Yeah.
He went.
That wasn't this guy, and that's another reason why I want to see Nagy stick, because I think Justin Fields is their pick.
Yeah,
and I just think they should get more time to see it through. All of this hot seat stuff, I don't really buy into it because if you look back on it, they showed a little statistic yesterday during the game of the coaches. Do you know that it was a stat? Well, the first 3 seasons of his career, he's got just as many wins as Lovie Smith had.
I didn't see that.
Lovie Smith had 29 wins. I think Matt Nagy had 28. So when you talk about firing a guy that did nothing but get to the playoffs
2 out of 3 years.
2 out of 3 years, I mean, come on, let's be for real. I mean, it took them years to get back to 12 wins. After Lovie Smith, they fired Lovie Smith after 10-6.
Right, and they didn't make the playoffs because of some stupid tie break. Right.
So I'm pulling for. I got my opinion on Matt. It's not all good sometimes, but I'm a Bear fan. Matt is my coach.
Matt is my coach.
Just like back in the day, Lovie Smith.
Rex is our
quarterback. So Matt is our coach right now. I really want to see him succeed. He got to get it done. I just hope that they can cool the seat off for him. He got a good spirit about him. I just don't think he's just growing as a coach.
I think just seeing last year our feeling going into the season, I'm prepared to cheer for the Bears or laugh at the Bears. Yeah. This year it's totally different. It's a whole new vibe.
Once they drafted, I felt the same way. Yeah. I was prepared to cheer or laugh. But man, when they drafted Justin Fields,
it's different.
It changed so much.
Like that.
Because you got all of the notions that a lot of people like the Bears just 2 years ago when they didn't get Teddy Bridgewater as a free agent. A lot of people were saying the Bears didn't want to draft they wouldn't want a black quarterback. And I was like, anybody who's just saying this is just like they don't know the history of the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Bears drafted Vince Evans in 1977.
Right, I remember you ran that down.
In 1977, it was not very popular to draft a black quarterback or put a black quarterback on the field in no shape or form. But you can't make that assessment. I mean, we'll touch back on that later.
Right.
About the black quarterback experience and with the city of Chicago. But I was just elated, man. I just like to get back on Mitch. I just hope they don't boo the guy because I can put it in perspective what he was up against. But it's playing to see. Justin is another level. Justin Fields is another level. He's on another level.
It's different. Yeah, it's different. Yeah, it's different. But this is exhibition game 1. We only get 3 this year, which is cool.
Yeah.
The Watch the Game podcast, we are getting back into the flow of things. This is season 2. As you know, we always have some brown in the cup. But we want y'all to be here with us all season long because we're going to be doing this for 20 games. We got 17. Yeah, so we got 20 of them.
Well, we most definitely got to cover this next exhibition game.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the last one is against the Titans. Now, by the end of
the rosters,
we can react to the rosters, stuff like that. And then, usually about the third preseason game of the season, preseason, that's when I really start losing my buzz. I'm ready to get to
the real season. Yeah, it might be a little different because we got Justin this year.
Yeah, but if Justin go out next week and show, we're not gonna see him in week 3.
Oh no,
we're not gonna see him in the third. I don't think we'll see Justin
because the third game gonna be like the fourth game used to be. Now they ain't gonna play nobody.
And I would be totally out of order because we talked about the receivers. We didn't talk about a bunch of them. I think we talked about Rodney Adams. Had a catch.
Right. We talked about Rodney.
One dude I gotta talk about in particular, and that's number 86, the homeboy, Jave Johnson.
Okay.
This is a kid from nearby Gary, Indiana. I had the experience of coaching this kid as an AAU basketball player in the 6th grade. And I seen him run the routes for a long time, man. This kid, we talk about Justin Fields being ready for the moment, okay, because of what we see. But this is a kid I personally seen get groomed. This is, by the way, Lonnie Johnson is his cousin. Lonnie is a safety for the Houston Texans.
Okay.
I seen both of these kids just get groomed for the moment. So I'm already a Bear fan.
Right. So
But I got so much reason to pull for him because you got Jave out there, number 86, doing his thing. And I heard he made some big plays in practice. So hopefully, the next 2 preseason games, I want to see a lot of Jave Johnson.
because he going to get time. Yeah, he going to
And
get
a lot of Ryan Nall.
You know what? We going to start throwing graphics up on the screen. Every time you mention Ryan Nall, we throwing his jersey up on the screen.
I just want the man to run football.
He coming. Ryan Nall.
Okay.
Coming.
Jave, big up to you. If you say Jave called a pass, I know he fielded a couple punts.
I think he caught one, but I ain't see it on the box stat. I just checked
Okay.
it right now.
Now, Jave, if I miss your pass, if I miss a couple of your catches, don't hold it against me. But I'm pulling for you, bro. We got 2 more games.
2, yeah.
So let's get it done. Number 86, Jave Johnson, Gary Westside Cougar.
Let's go.
Watch the Game Podcast. Get at us.
Yes, we out.